Chapter 91 Family Practice Field, 3 times the training speed bonus. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Advanced Cultivation Aptitude Potion **** effect **** grants the user advanced aptitude in magic and chi cultivation upon consumption, **** advanced potential recovery potion **** effect **** restores all hidden injuries and returns the body's potential to its peak condition, **** advanced building. Family Training Ground **** effect **** a special training ground that boosts cultivation speed, triples cultivation speed for up to 30 people, **** 7-star battle technique, Holy Sword Judgment **** effect **** condenses 6 epic level energy holy swords using internal chi to judge enemies. If the enemy's strength is not more than 1 major realm higher than the user's, they will be immobilized. Of the 4 rewards from the system's grand gift package, Holy Sword Judgment was the most valuable to Rennes. This 7-star battle technique was extremely powerful. As long as the opponent wasn't more than 1 major realm above him, they basically couldn't escape or withstand its attack. It was a one-hit kill or serious injury kind of move. With this technique, Rennes now had a game. Changing trump card, he claimed the reward. Information on how to cultivate the Holy Sword Judgment technique flooded his mind. After absorbing all the knowledge, Rennes considered the other 3 items. He needed a plan for each one. Most of the Habs family could benefit from the Advanced Cultivation Aptitude Potion, but Hilda and Janice needed it the most. He decided to give it to Janice. His daughter, Hilda, had a good chance of breaking through and becoming a great Earth Knight within 5 years, bringing another powerful member to the Habs family. However, Janice was his first wife. After all these years, his feelings for her were deep. Janice was getting older. To ensure she could break through to 10th rank Archmage before her lifespan ended and extend her life, this potion couldn't go to anyone else. Otherwise, he wasn't sure he could get another one before her time ran out, so Hilda would have to wait. The Advanced Potential Recovery Potion was easier to distribute. Lefa was the only member of the Habsburg family with severely damaged and overdrawn physical potential. She used skills beyond her level to protect the Violet Flower members from a 9th level Earth Bear, greatly overdrawing her internal fighting spirit and damaging her meridians. That's why Lefa, who had good talent, only reached the 6th level as a hunter. Without help, she would never become a 7th level advanced hunter, but with the potion, things were different. If her potential could be restored, Lefa would definitely become an advanced hunter. With the Habsburg family's abundant resources, even reaching the 10th level and becoming a ghost hunter wasn't impossible. As for the family training ground, it went without saying. He'd build it directly on the family estate after deciding how to handle the rewards. Rennes acted. First, he took the Advanced Cultivation Aptitude Potion to Janice. She had just finished her meditation, but it hadn't been very effective. Her low-level magic aptitude was a problem. The cultivation efficiency was terrible. Even with plenty of resources, it was hard to absorb and convert them into magical cultivation quickly. Janice looked worried. At this rate, she'd be lucky to become a 5th-level mage before she died. Rennes walked in. "Honey, what are you doing here?" Janice hid her sadness and smiled as she greeted her husband. "I brought you a gift. I promise you'll like it." Rennes hugged his wife and grinned. "What gift?" Jenny's heart fluttered. "This. It's like the lower-level cultivation potion I gave you before, but better. It'll give you higher magical aptitude and combat energy aptitude." Rennes held out the potion. Jenny looked surprised and touched. She never expected her husband to get such a precious potion to improve her aptitude. Only a master alchemist could make something like this. It was incredibly valuable. A bottle could easily sell for 5 million gold coins, and it was priceless. You could only find this at high-level auctions. "Thank you, darling." Jenny kissed Rennes passionately. After 10 minutes, they stopped. "Drink it." Rennes handed her the faint blue potion. Janice hesitated. "Maybe we should give it to Hilda. She's always wanted to be a female general, and she's almost there. This could really help her." "No. You need it more. I'll figure something out for Hilda." Before Janice could protest, Rennes poured the potion into her mouth. It was done. As Janice absorbed the potion, Rennes left, satisfied. Soon after, Rennes found Li-Fa in the garden. She was taking a walk to nurture her pregnancy. He held out the potion that could restore her potential. Li-Fa was thrilled. She jumped into Rennes' arms. Careful of the baby, Rennes steadied her. Li-Fa eagerly drank the potion. Her old injuries rapidly healed, her depleted fighting spirit visibly recovered. Soon, all her hidden injuries were gone, and her physical potential was restored. Li-Fa felt amazing. It was like being reborn. Tears of joy streamed down her face as she kissed Rennes passionately. 2 kisses ignited the fire in his heart. If Li-Fa wasn't pregnant, they would have definitely had a battle. They agreed to a truce. After restoring her potential, Li-Fa was eager to train. She ran back to her room to cultivate her fighting spirit. Rennes ordered the construction of the family training ground. It would continuously enhance the cultivation speed of family members. The effect wouldn't be immediate, but it would produce stronger individuals in the long run. This tool for strengthening the family's foundation needed to be finished as soon as possible. Chapter 92 Developing a Family College, 9-year compulsory education in another world. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Half a month later, Rennes finally got the family training ground built. Thanks to his constant nagging, it was a square plaza, about a mile across, paved with super tough black rock. Scattered around were various weapons and wooden dummies for combat drills. Looking at it, Rennes thought, activate advanced construction, family training ground. Instantly, a white light, invisible to everyone else, enveloped the black rock. It was like the ground was going through some kind of crazy transformation. 10 minutes later, the light faded. Curious, Rennes stepped onto the training ground, eager to see if it worked. He focused his chi, practicing the Holy Dragon Chi technique. Bingo. His cultivation speed tripled. Next, he tried out some combat moves and found he was leveling up fast. This training ground will be a game changer for the Habs, he mused. They'll develop their talents faster and maybe even reach heights they never could before. After seeing the cultivation boost firsthand, Rennes nodded, satisfied, but, according to the system, there was a limit. Only 30 people could train there at once. With resources limited, deciding who got the spots would be a headache. Rennes had 77 descendants, and 89 grandkids. After cutting out the babies and those who'd pretty much maxed out, he still had over 140 Habsburgs needing a training space, 30 spots. Not gonna cut it, Rennes frowned. He was stuck between a rock and a hard place. This was a real problem. His brain spun. Few minutes later, he had a plan. First, the 4 gold-rated descendants get guaranteed spots. They've got the most potential. This training ground will help them level up and make the Habsburgs stronger, faster. That leaves 26 spots. 16 will rotate between the silver and bronze-rated kids. And the last 10? We'll use them as rewards to motivate the next generation to get better. He was planning a family education overhaul anyway. A structured training program for all the descendants. Truth was, the Habsburgs had risen so fast, their traditions lagged behind families who'd been dukes for centuries. Those old families had spent generations perfecting their training systems, churning out talent every single time. That's why those families thrived. While smaller noble houses often fizzled out if a generation or two didn't measure up. As the head of the Habsburgs and the guy with the magic touch, Rennes wanted to borrow a few pages from their playbook, but those families weren't about to spill their secrets. Even if they did, their methods might not fit the Habsburgs. So, Rennes decided to mix his past life memories with a few new ideas and create a family academy. Think of it like this. He'd build a school system, starting with mandatory education for all the descendants. After that, there would be tests. The kids who aced them would move on to a higher level academy with more resources, like access to the training ground, advanced lessons, and so on. Rennes was betting that this system, proven in his past life, would inject some serious energy into the family and produce even more talented Habsburgs. Let's do primary school, high school, and college, he thought. We can hire experts to teach stuff like language, math, and history. Then we can break out the magic and Do-Chi training. Teaching Do-Chi is easy. The academies can use Ripple, Furious Dragon, and Holy Dragon Do-Chi as the core curriculum. But finding a good magic meditation technique is a problem. Rennes sighed. He had a 5-star technique called Elemental Star from the system, but it was way too advanced for beginners. Only the true prodigies would be able to handle it. It was better suited for the intermediate academy. He still needed a high-quality, beginner-friendly meditation technique, something like Ripple Do Chi, plus a more advanced technique for the older kids. Both were rare. The family hadn't come across anything suitable recently. Guess I'll have to shelve it for now. What else could he do? Rennes decided to focus on building the basic framework of the family academy first. That meant starting with the mandatory education elementary school. That was the foundation, the most important part. He called a family meeting and laid out his plan. As the head of the family, his word was law. A couple of weeks later, every Habsburg child old enough to be trained was sent to the estate, over 50 kids, all around 10 years old. Since the academy building wasn't ready, Rennes used the backyard garden as a temporary classroom. Father! Grandfather! That the kids shouted when they saw him. Rennes smiled. Do you know why you're here today? To study. That they all yelled in unison. Their parents had prepped them beforehand, telling them to be good and not cause trouble. That's right. You're all members of the family academy now. Work hard for the future of the family. Rennes kept it short and sweet. Too much information would just go over their heads. Then, Rennes taught their first lesson. He explained the basics of wave folding and fighting spirit for the kids with a knack for magic, but no beginner's guide. He detailed the elemental star meditation, hoping they could grasp it. If not, he'd find something easier. For now, after 3 hours, Rennes had covered wave folding and the elemental star meditation. From today forward, the Habsburg Family Academy is officially in session. Looking at the 50-plus kids sitting on the grass, frowning and struggling to cultivate fighting spirit or magic, Rennes smiled. These were the future of the Habsburgs. Chapter 93. Rectify. The Shadow Organization. The Death Knights are dispatched. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Another 3 months flew by. Thanks to Rennes' efforts, the family academy was taking shape. The kids were settling in too. Waking up early was a drag, but they loved playing with their friends during breaks. They were way happier than when they were stuck at home. Besides the academy, Rennes was also cleaning house in the Shadow Organization. According to his golden finger power panel, there were a few bad apples undermining him. The problem was, the golden finger didn't name names, so Rennes had to flush them out himself. Over the years, with Rennes' backing, the Shadow Organization had grown to over 1,000 core members and tens of thousands of peripheral agents. Finding the troublemakers in that crowd wasn't going to be easy. And to avoid tipping them off, Rennes couldn't just launch a full-blown investigation. He had to rely on a few trusted senior members to do some digging, but hard work pays off. After months of probing, Rennes finally smoked out the traitors, over 30 of them. Most were middle managers. Some had been bribed, using the Shadow Organization's resources for their own gain. Others were spies from rival nobles, trying to steal intel or the Gale Falcon training methods. They were all stabbing Rennes in the back one way or another. Needless to say, Rennes wasted no time in taking them out. The moment they were gone, his control level over the Shadow Organization on the Golden Finger panel jumped to 83%. That meant everyone in the organization was finally on board, but Rennes wasn't done yet. He wasn't about to let this slide. These nobles thought they could mess with him without consequences. He was about to teach them a lesson they wouldn't forget. 8 noble families were secretly meddling with the Shadow Organization, he thought, 3 viscounts, 2 earls, and 3 marquises. But the Audley earls were the worst. They weren't just after the Falcon training method, they were siphoning off funds and assets too. Rennes' eyes flashed with anger. He was going to make an example of the Audley family, show everyone that some lines just couldn't be crossed, but assassinating nobles couldn't be done out in the open. He couldn't leave any trace. The Habsburgs still had to play the game in noble circles. That meant his regular forces were off limits. Then it hit him. The Death Knights. That's it. He'd subdued them a few months back and kept them hidden in the mountains, far from prying eyes. Nobody knew he had them at his disposal. With a plan in mind, Rennes used his sole imprint to send orders to the undead knights. He included all the details about the Oddly family members and their location. Soul-level communication was practically instantaneous. Deep in the mountains, the Death Knights, busy hunting monsters and absorbing their souls, received Rennes' command. Led by their captain, 20 terrifying knights mounted their nightmare steeds and vanished into the wilderness, heading straight for Oddly territory in the Bay Area, near the Rhine region. Meteor City, a bustling metropolis of millions, had been under the Oddly Count's control for centuries. Most of the Oddly family lived in the family castle in the heart of the city, in the highest chamber of Oddly Castle. Lord Horak, the agents we placed in the Shadow Organization have passed us over 20 important pieces of intel these last few months. They also assisted us in collecting over hundreds of thousands of gold coins worth of assets. However, due to the organization's tight grip on its Gale Wind Eagle taming methods, progress is currently being hindered. The Oddly family steward was reporting to a middle-aged man who was clearly living the good life. Push our agents to climb higher in the Shadow Organization, Lord Horak, head of the Oddly family, ordered, finally opening his eyes. The Gale Falcon training methods are crucial to the Oddly family. Sir, are you sure this is a good idea? The steward asked hesitantly. I've heard the Shadow Organization is under Duke Rennes' control. If he finds out, we'll be in trouble. He'd served the Oddly family for generations and considered himself one of them, so he hoped the Lord would reconsider. A duke was not someone the Oddly family could afford to cross. That's just a rumor, a baseless accusation. Horak scoffed. The Shadow Organization probably started it themselves. And even if it's true, so what? Duke Rennes is too busy chasing skirts and arranging marriages to notice a few undercover agents. Horak, blinded by greed, ignored the steward's warning. He saw the potential rewards as outweighing the risks. He wasn't about to back down now. The steward wanted to press the issue, but Horak wasn't listening. He waved the steward away, eager to get back to his schemes. The steward sighed and turned to leave. He opened the door, and, without warning, thwack, a deep blue greatsword sliced the steward in half, ending him without remorse. Blood sprayed everywhere. Who dares to invade the Oddly estate and murder my staff? Horak cried out as his pupils dilated, his hidden intentions now out in the open. Without hesitation, Horak launched an attack. He channeled his chi, clenched his fist, and threw a punch. A dark red energy fist tore through the air, packing the power of a seasoned Earth Knight. Anyone below 10th rank who tried to block it would pay with their life, but for the unexpected guest, this attack was weak. Li Qianzhao swung his greatsword, shattering the energy fist with ease. The next second, the terrifying figure clad in full armor with glowing emerald eyes charged into the room. Before Horak could react, the figure plunged the greatsword into his heart. Guh! Guh! Horak gasped, feeling his life draining away. His mind, now clear as day, realized the gravity of the situation. Such a powerful warrior wouldn't attack without reason. Of all the people he'd crossed, only Duke Rennes had the power to command such a force. Horak, once consumed by greed, was now filled with regret, but it was too late. Moments later, Horak's body fell limp, even his soul was devoured by the Death Knight. 20 minutes later, silence fell over Oddly Castle. Having fulfilled their master's orders, the Death Knight Legion vanished as silently as they'd appeared, leaving only death in their wake. Chapter 94 Rebuilding the Family Knights, National Qualification Test. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The next day, Meteor City woke up to the news. The entire Oddly family had been brutally wiped out. The story spread like wildfire, shocking everyone. A Count's family, a powerful one at that, just vanished. No one knew who was responsible. It was a truly chilling thought. However, certain nobles who had secretly infiltrated the Shadow Organization began to suspect something. Their own undercover agents within the organization had suddenly gone silent the day before. And now, this tragedy with the Oddly family. The timing was too suspicious. It didn't take a genius to connect the dots. The rumor was true. Duke Rennes was backing the Shadow Organization. The Oddly family must have crossed him through their connection with the organization, and paid the ultimate price. The nobles who had spies in the shadow organization were scared stiff, practically wetting their pants. To avoid suffering the same fate as the Audleys, they immediately started preparing gifts, planning a groveling apology to Duke Rennes at the Habsburg estate. This object lesson worked like a charm. Duke Rennes knew exactly why these nobles were suddenly so friendly. But he played dumb. He couldn't very well admit he'd ordered the hit on the Audleys, could he? After some awkward small talk, Duke Rennes reluctantly accepted their gifts, a haul worth about 3 million gold coins. It not only covered the losses from the exposed spies, but doubled it. Seeing them so eager to please, Duke Rennes decided to drop the matter of the shadow organization. Time flew, another month went by. Layla, Murphy, and Charlene were finally about to give birth after 9 long months. Rennes was buzzing with anticipation for the new arrivals. A week later, Charlene was the first to be wheeled into the delivery room. Not even 15 minutes later, she delivered a healthy, chubby baby boy, weighing in at 7 pounds 6 ounces. However, the kid's potential wasn't great. Average martial chi, low magic aptitude, the system rated him bronze level. The rewards were just as meager, only the basic 10 years of cultivation boost. 2 days later, Layla and Murphy followed suit, delivering a boy and a girl. System, new child. The magic aptitude is low, the martial chi aptitude is low, rated black iron. Reward, 1 year of martial chi cultivation, plus 3 strength. System, the magic aptitude is average, high fighting spirit aptitude, rated silver. Reward, 30 years of fighting spirit cultivation, 4-star meditation technique, Heart Lake Calm Water. 1 black iron, 1 silver. Nothing special about the black iron kid's rewards. But the silver kid was a game changer. 30 years of fighting spirit cultivation and a 4-star meditation technique. Score. Rennes checked out the Heart Lake Calm Water technique. It was impressive. Relatively easy to learn, and after mastering it, the purity of one's magic power was significantly improved compared to other techniques of the same level. It also helped train the soul, improving emotional control and reducing the chance of spell failures. This is perfect for a basic magic textbook for the Family Academy. Rennes thought. They had textbooks for low-level and mid-level magic classes. Now all they needed was a 6-star or higher advanced meditation technique. But those were nearly impossible to find. You couldn't just buy them anywhere. He'd probably have to rely on the system for that. No use getting stressed about it. Over the next month, while taking care of Layla, Murphy, and Charlene's postpartum recovery, Rennes also focused on expanding his water-based business ventures. The perfume, which had taken off like a rocket, continued to gain popularity. Its reputation had spread far beyond the Rhine region. Wealthy women in neighboring areas, even distant lands, were willing to pay top dollar for it. Rennes wasn't about to let that opportunity pass him by. He aggressively expanded the perfume market, raking in enormous profits, but this success created a new problem. Not enough guards for the merchant caravans. The shipment volume had exploded. The convoys transporting perfume had gone from less than 10 wagons to over 30. And they were traveling to more distant regions. The original 100+ guards were stretched thin. This issue had already caused problems. A few days earlier, a gang of bandits had robbed several batches of perfume worth tens of thousands of gold coins. While the Shadow Organization's intelligence network had managed to recover most of the goods and punish the bandits severely, it was a wake-up call for Rennes. They'd gotten lucky this time, but next time might be different. He had no choice. Rennes pulled over 300 knights from the family order, those who'd mostly reached their limit, to serve as guards for the merchant caravans. This would ensure the precious perfume made it to its destination safely. Back at Hab's manor, in his study, Rennes stared at the significantly reduced list of Hab's family knights, tapping the table lost in thought. Just then, Janice, wearing a red dress and carrying a fragrant bowl of chicken soup, entered the room. "What's on your mind? You look so serious." She placed the soup on the desk. "Take a break. You've been locked up in here for hours." Walking behind Rennes, she began to massage his head. Closing his eyes, He enjoyed his wife's touch and began to explain. I'm thinking about holding a territory-wide talent screening. The Habu's family's rise had been too fast. Their talent development couldn't keep up. As the family's businesses grew, the need for skilled people grew with it. The Habu's knights were a perfect example. With over 300 knights reassigned as caravan escorts, the knight order was now down to less than 400 members. Their fighting power had taken a serious hit. To quickly replenish the Habu's knights, build up a reserve of talent, and strengthen the family's foundations, Rennes wanted to hold a qualification test for all residents within their territory. They would identify individuals with exceptional potential, train them, and then put them to work for the Habu's family. Janice was skeptical. Compared to nobles who had generations of training and special abilities, the odds of an ordinary person with no inherited powers having outstanding potential were slim. Most people had only low to mid-level capabilities. A small percentage reached a high level. Those with exceptional talent were incredibly rare. After a territory-wide test that would eat up a ton of resources, they'd probably only find a handful of ordinary people with mediocre potential. It was probably a losing proposition. Rennes conceded that she had a point, but he still wanted to try. With the continuous success of their businesses, the Habu's family was rolling in money. They could afford to take a hit. And it might not be a loss. Let's give it a shot. Rennes grinned. Maybe we'll get lucky and find a few diamonds in the rough with top-tier potential. Seeing that her husband had made up his mind, Janice didn't object. On Rennes orders, the administrative staff of the major towns quickly posted notices about the territory-wide qualification test. Soon, word of the test spread like wildfire throughout the Habu's family's lands. Chapter 95, Super Magic Aptitude Approaching Epic Level. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hey, did you hear? Duke Rennes is holding aptitude tests for the Habu's family. Yeah. I heard if you've got what it takes, Rennes will hook you up with some killer techniques and the resources to back them up. Sounds too good to be true. Is this on the level? Are you kidding? Duke Rennes isn't some 2-bit noble, he's the real deal. If you pass the test, the Habu's family's got your back. Man, if only I could ace that chi test, get picked by the Habu's family, and skip all the grind. Forget being a knight, I could be a lord someday. Alright, enough talk. What's the deal with the test? I'm itching to go. The word is the city hall will be telling everyone where to go in 2 days. Everyone gets a shot. Eagle City, you couldn't walk a block without hearing folks yammering about the upcoming aptitude test. A young, muscular guy with a hope perked up when he heard the buzz, but he didn't stick around long. Once he got the gist, he made a beeline for home, like he was on a mission. A 10-minute walk later, he was standing in front of a small, plain stone house. He went inside. He spotted a delicate-looking girl cooking in the kitchen. Anna, didn't I tell you to take it easy and look after yourself? Why don't you ever listen? Jack's face clouded over. I'm just helping out, big brother, Anna mumbled, like a kid caught with her hand in the cookie jar. I'm not mad. I just want you to take care of yourself, okay? I can handle this stuff. Once he was sure his sister wasn't worse, Jack relaxed a little. He sounded really worried, but Anna, bless her stubborn heart, was dead set on finishing the meal. Jack threw his hands up. He helped her out. After about 10 minutes of cooking, they were ready to eat. The two sat down. Jack kept piling meat on Anna's plate, but she always refused, saying she wasn't hungry. She wanted him to have more. But Jack wasn't having it. He made sure she ate every last bite of meat. Hey, I noticed you seemed preoccupied at dinner, Anna said suddenly. Is something bugging you? Nothing's bugging me. Jack hesitated, then spilled the beans. Duke Rennes is testing folks for cultivation talent. I was thinking, if we could knock it out of the park, maybe we could ask Rennes for help and get you cured. Really? Anna's eyes lit up. Absolutely. Duke Rennes is a sky knight, a total legend. He can fly. If we can grab his attention. Anna, there's hope for you. Jack was serious. I believe in you, brother, Anna said eagerly. 2 days later, Rennes gave the green light. The aptitude test was underway. Testing centers were set up in city guard camps in various towns. As soon as they got the word, Jack took Anna to the testing center in Eagle City, but Anna was weak from her illness, so they were slow getting there. By the time they arrived, the place was swarming with people. There were thousands in line. And more kept showing up. The size of the crowd caught Rennes by surprise. He scrambled to get some people to keep order, so the situation didn't get out of hand. When everyone was in line, Rennes gave the order to begin the testing. He had paid a hefty price for this. He had shelled out 500,000 gold coins to buy over 30 aptitude testing magic arrays from the Mage Association. He also stocked up on magic crystals worth millions to power them. Using the arrays was simple. Step onto it, and the array would glow a certain color based on aptitude: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. Black. Red was low, orange was medium, yellow was high, and so on. Each array would flash twice. The first color showed martial chi aptitude, the second magic aptitude. Under Rennes' watchful eye, the line shuffled forward, and people stepped onto the arrays. Low martial chi. No magic. Applause sought. No martial chi. No magic. Low martial chi. No magic. The results were quick and easy. Before long, hundreds had been tested, but they all stank. Even if they somehow became transcendents, they would just be stuck as apprentices forever, not worth the resources. Rennes wasn't fazed. He was prepared for it, but he knew it wouldn't be like this forever. With enough people, he would find some talent. Sure enough, the 563rd person stepped up. Average martial chi. Low magic. That the first one to pass the screening and join the Habs family training program had appeared, a lanky teenager. He was over the moon when he heard he made it. He couldn't stop grinning. The people around him stared with envy. They all crossed their fingers hoping they would pass the test as well. Jack and Anna were no different. They were pinning their hopes on passing. The crowd surged forward. Soon, it was their turn. Step right up, the examiner said. Coming. Jack nodded, trying to look confident, and walked onto the array. A second later, the array lit up bright yellow. Then, it flashed orange. High martial chi, average magic. Rennes, who was standing off to the side, cracked a smile. Finally, someone with real potential. Jack was pumped when he heard the good news. He helped his frail sister behind him onto the array. The array flashed red, the lowest possible score, but then, the second flash shocked everyone. The array practically exploded with a vibrant green light. The girl had an almost epic magic aptitude. P.S. Aptitude: low, average, high, super, epic, legendary, divine. Chapter 96. Heaven is jealous of talents. Cursed girl. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Damn. Rennes' eyes widened at the sight. It felt unreal. Honestly, the most he'd hoped for from this nationwide talent search was a handful of top prospects and a few hundred decent ones. But on day one, he got a huge surprise. A girl with near-epic magical talent. With the right training, she had a real shot at becoming a legendary mage. It was like recruiting a bunch of grunts in a video game and pulling an S-class hero unit out of the hat. Shocking, and a little hard to believe. After triple-checking he wasn't hallucinating, Rennes couldn't sit still. He flew over to the girl and asked point-blank, "What's your name?" Anna, startled by the handsome young man who suddenly appeared out of nowhere, froze and blurted out, 180. For a second, she couldn't speak. "Anna, Lord Rennes is asking you something," Jack said, recognizing Rennes and tugging at his sister's sleeve to remind her. "I'm Anna." Snapping back to reality, Anna answered timidly. "Nice name. From today, you're a member of the Habs family. I hope you won't let me down." Rennes said firmly. There was no way he was letting a talent like her slip through his fingers. Anna was thrilled by Rennes' attention. Jack, too, was overjoyed for his sister. Not wanting to interrupt the trials, Rennes didn't hang around. He took the two siblings back to Habs Manor. After settling them in, Rennes asked if they needed anything. "Lord Rennes, my sister has a strange condition. She's always been weak, and gets winded just walking a few steps. Doctors can't figure out what's wrong. I was hoping you could take a look," Jack said quickly. "A strange condition?" Rennes perked up. Could this be a disaster? He'd finally found a diamond in the rough with the potential to become a legendary mage, only to discover she had a terminal illness and wouldn't live long. He turned to Anna and said, "Do you mind if I examine you?" Anna, of course, didn't object and nodded. "Hold out your hand," Rennes said, extending his. "Oh, okay," Anna replied, placing her hand in his. Holding Anna's delicate hand, Rennes activated the holy dragon chi within him, slowly channeling it into her body to investigate her condition. Anna's face flushed, feeling the warmth from Rennes' palm. In her 20 years, this was the first time she'd held hands with a man who wasn't her brother. Her heart pounded. Rennes, however, wasn't fazed. With a stable of beautiful wives, he didn't feel any particular attraction to this fragile girl. After thoroughly scanning Anna's body with his chi, Rennes frowned. He was puzzled. According to his examination, there was nothing physically wrong with her. Her meridians were somewhat fragile and not ideal for cultivating chi, but that shouldn't be enough to explain her poor health. Yet, Anna was clearly deficient in many ways, and these deficiencies seemed to be getting worse, making her weaker than a child. Could it be some kind of curse? Rennes wondered. This didn't seem like a regular illness, it felt more like dark magic, but Rennes quickly dismissed the idea. If it were a curse, he would have sensed it with the holy dragon chi. After all, the holy dragon chi, with its divine nature, was very sensitive to curses fueled by negative energy. "Lord Rennes, how is my sister? Can she be cured?" Jack asked anxiously, seeing Rennes frown. "I'm not sure what it is yet. I need to examine her further," Rennes replied. He then used various arcane methods to thoroughly examine Anna's physical condition. After more than 10 minutes. Anna's deficiencies aren't caused by external forces. Her blood is silently absorbing a huge amount of nutrients, starving the rest of her body and causing long-term damage. In other words, it's not a disease at all. Instead, Anna has awakened some kind of powerful bloodline, but her body can't provide enough nourishment for it, leading to this strange situation. After examining Anna inside and out, Rennes identified the root of the problem. "Lord Rennes, did you find anything?" Jack asked, noticing Rennes' discovery. Anna looked at him nervously, like a prisoner awaiting judgment. Rennes chuckled to himself, sensing their tension. He didn't want to prolong the suspense, so he got straight to the point. "Your sister Anna's weakness isn't an illness. It's the sudden awakening of a powerful bloodline within her. This bloodline is drawing energy from Anna's daily intake, strengthening itself, and leaving the rest of her body malnourished. That's why she's become so weak." Jack and Anna were stunned. For years, they thought Anna had contracted some incurable disease. They'd even prepared themselves for a life of separation. Now, they were being told it wasn't an illness at all. It was just a bloodline awakening. The twist was unreal. Coming to his senses, Jack asked with concern, "Lord Rennes, how can we fix this?" "Provide enough magic power to allow Anna's bloodline to fully awaken," Rennes said. "But, Lord Rennes, can you?" Jack hesitated. He knew he was asking a lot. He didn't know how much magic power it would take, but it was likely a huge amount. "No problem. You and your sister are now members of my Habs family," Rennes said. "I can provide the magical energy needed for your sister's bloodline awakening." In his mind, the siblings, especially the younger sister, had immense potential. They were worth the investment. As long as he could secure their loyalty, even if it cost him millions of gold coins, it would be worth it. Besides, he was also curious about what bloodline this frail girl had awakened. The initial awakening of a common bloodline wasn't nearly this difficult. Anna's bloodline had to be something extraordinary. Chapter 97 Successful Awakening, Anthem Angel Bloodline. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I'm not sure what Rennes is up to. Jack and Anna were both deeply touched by Rennes' words. They felt a wave of gratitude towards him. Anna, especially, found herself growing more fond of him by the second they started to see Rennes in a whole new light. Without wasting any time, Rennes immediately started setting up the magic array to help Anna unlock her bloodline. The array design was already part of the basic magic array skills the system had given him, so he didn't need to create it from scratch. An hour later, a mysterious magic array was fully formed. It looked pretty impressive, but actually, the array's purpose was pretty simple. it drew energy from magic crystals and channeled it into Anna's body to help her absorb it. Not exactly rocket science, that's why it was included in the basic magic array skill set to make sure Anna's bloodline awakening went smoothly. Rennes threw in millions of magic crystals into the array all at once, instantly, the concentration of magic power within the array became palpable. You could even see thick, purple, mist-like energy swirling in the air. "Go ahead and step inside," Rennes told Anna. "Okay," the young woman replied, stepping nervously into the magic array. In a flash, the magic array activated automatically. It began flooding Anna's body with the magic power drawn from the crystals. At first, Rennes worried that the magic power might be too much for Anna to handle, so he carefully controlled the flow, but after seeing her absorb it like a black hole, he let loose and cranked up the speed. About 10 minutes later, after the millions of magic crystals had been drained dry, a holy light erupted from Anna's body. Tiny energy angels appeared out of nowhere, singing hymns, "Hallelujah! Hallelujah! Hallelujah!" The sound began with a single voice, growing louder and louder until it seemed like thousands were singing in unison. In an instant, the space around them felt incredibly sacred. Holy Song Angel. The purest divine aura, combined with those unique hymns, Rennes immediately recognized the bloodline Anna had awakened. He'd expected her bloodline to be something special, but not this special. The angel race was the top dog in the heavenly mountain plain. They were born with the power of holy light and mastered incredibly powerful divine magic. Even the lowest-ranking angels, once they reached adulthood, gained powerful abilities that were 13th rank or higher and the higher-ranking angels. They were legendary right out of the gate. The Holy Song Angel was one of those higher-ranking angels. They were masters of divine magic. Their natural talent for singing holy songs allowed them to boost the power of divine magic and cut down on the cost. You could call them born holy mages. With this legendary bloodline, and her already amazing magical talent, if nothing went wrong, Anna was destined for legendary status. Another 10 minutes went by, when the last of the divine light faded. The girl who had been bathed in holiness stepped forward. She looked nothing like the frail girl she'd been before. Now that her bloodline was unlocked, Anna's face and body had filled out. Her once dull golden hair now shone with health and vitality. She was noticeably more beautiful. If she was an 8 before, she was easily a 9.5 now, but beyond that, Anna's whole vibe had shifted. Her gentle nature had been replaced by a pure holiness. She looked like a saint. There was an aura around her that warned you not to mess with her. "That's a serious transformation," Rennes said, snapping back to reality. But Jack wasn't paying attention to any of that. To him, his sister was still his sister, no matter how she changed. "Anna, how do you feel? Are you all better?" Jack asked, concerned. Hearing his question, Anna opened her eyes and took stock of her body. A huge grin spread across her face. Her body was no longer weak, but vibrant. She felt stronger than ever. "I feel great, Jack. My illness is really gone," she said, bouncing with joy. "That's awesome," Jack said, happy for his sister. Then, the two of them turned to thank Rennes, feeling the immense gratitude in their eyes. Rennes was satisfied. Good, they weren't ungrateful. If they were, he wouldn't have bothered nurturing them, no matter how talented they were. That kind of person was just too dangerous. "All right, from now on, we're family," Rennes said. "Let me introduce you to the matriarchs. I'll start teaching you some serious skills in a few days." He led them towards the garden, where Janice and the other women were having afternoon tea among the flowers. 17 beautiful women, each with her own unique style, chatting and laughing. It was quite a sight. When they saw Rennes approaching, Janice and the others smiled and stood to greet him. "Honey, who are these two?" Janice asked, eyeing the strangers, especially Anna, whose beauty and holiness caught her attention. "Let me introduce them," Rennes said. "These are 2 talented kids I found through the National Aptitude test. This is Jack, who has high-level martial chi talent, and his sister, Anna. She has an almost epic-level magic talent and has unlocked the bloodline of a holy song angel. I plan to take her as my apprentice. Maybe she'll become a legendary mage one day." He spoke with a hint of pride and a touch of "I told you so." Janus hadn't been a fan of the national qualification testing program, but now, he had proof that it worked. Wait, what? Janus couldn't believe her ears. A national qualification test could actually find a super genius like that. It seemed impossible, but seeing her husband's serious face, she knew it wasn't a joke. She had to accept the incredible truth. So, you're really going to take her on as your apprentice? Janus asked, observing Anna carefully. She knew her husband was all about marrying talented beauties to improve the family bloodline. She didn't buy the "just an apprentice" story for a second. Rennes was a little confused. What else would he do? Then, it hit him, his golden finger. He'd almost forgotten. If he married Anna, with her holy song angel bloodline, their child would be incredibly talented. Maybe they could even have a kid with a platinum evaluation. Rennes saw Anna in a whole new light. Janus caught the change in his gaze and understood immediately. She began to look at Anna with a softer expression. This was her future sister-in-law. She had to be nice. She took Anna and Jack by the hand, asking about them and making them feel welcome. Feeling the warmth from the family matriarch, Anna and Jack started to relax. Rennes, seeing how well everyone was getting along, smiled and excused himself. He had to get back to overseeing the national qualification testing. He'd already struck gold on the first day. Who knew what other surprises were in store? Chapter 98, Priest of the Holy Word, the Self-Guided Angel Girl. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Evening, the sun dips below the horizon. The nationwide talent search is finally over. Across the Habsburg territory's 7 towns, we're talking about over 1.5 million people. We couldn't test everyone today. Time was just too tight, so we only got to about 200,000. Turns out, most people just don't have what it takes. Only 61 showed intermediate potential. Besides Anna and her brother, nobody stood out with advanced talent, and even those 61 aren't all promising. Some have decent abilities, but they're in their 30s or 40s. Even if we pour resources into them, they're unlikely to achieve much. They'll probably never even reach the intermediate transcendent level. So, realistically, only about 35 of those 61 have real potential. Most of them have a knack for martial chi. Only 6 have magical abilities. Rennes already has a plan for how to handle them. The martial chi talents will go straight to the Habsburg Knights, under the guidance of their leader, Ramon. As for the magic users, my wife Jessica, a powerful 7th Order mage, will teach them initially. If the numbers grow, we'll establish a magic school, and train a mage corps for the family. The talent search continues throughout the Habsburg lands for another week, but it seems Anna used up all the good luck. No more surprises turned up that Rennes was hoping for. After testing over 1.5 million people, we found less than 1,000 with intermediate potential. 8 showed advanced talent, but besides Anna, nobody had outstanding abilities. We weeded out the older ones without training value. In the end, we were left with 551 people, and this nationwide search cost over 2 million gold coins. That's a steep price for so few prospects. At best, it's a break-even situation. Of course, if you factor in Anna and her brother, it's a huge win. As planned, Rennes will send the 400-plus martial spirit talents to the Knights Order. Once they're fully trained, the Habsburg Knights will be not only restored to their former glory but even stronger than before. The remaining 100-plus magic users will be placed in the newly built Magic Academy in Eagle City. The teacher will be Rennes' 23rd child, Melody Habuz. She's the firstborn between Katie and Rennes. She has advanced magical talent and a dormant fairy bloodline. After careful training by Rennes, she's now a 5th-rank mage. She's more than qualified to teach these beginners. With those arrangements settled, Rennes turns his attention to Anna and her brother. Their training plans require careful consideration. For Jack, the brother, it's straightforward. He has advanced martial spirit qualifications. He just needs to study the Dragon Fury martial spirit and follow the path of a knight. But Anna is trickier. She has near-epic magical talent and the blood of a holy song angel. To maximize her potential, there are 3 paths she could take. First, she could become a mage specializing in spiritual and holy magic. Second, she could become a holy word priest, devoted to the holy light. Third, she could become a warlock, focusing on her bloodline power. Each path has pros and cons. The holy mage has powerful offensive abilities and can purify enemies with holy fire. The holy word priest leans more toward support, buffing allies. healing, or controlling enemies. At a high level, they can even destroy enemies with divine commands, and the warlock, they cultivate the holy song angel bloodline to its fullest, potentially transforming into a legendary holy song angel equally powerful. Choosing just one is tough, of course. She could try to do all three, but personal energy is limited. Splitting her focus might prevent her from reaching her full potential in any one area. After consulting Anna, Rennes ultimately chose the path of the holy word priest for her. However, the Habsburg family doesn't possess the teachings for that path. They'll have to buy it from outside, so Rennes will pay a hefty price and commission the Adventurers Association, a massive organization spanning multiple human empires. While Rennes is arranging the purchase, Anna and her brother have settled into life at the Habsburg manor. Compared to before, it's like living in paradise. They don't have to work hard, and they have the best food, clothes, and accommodations. All they need to do is train. A true friend will die for you. To repay Rennes' generosity, Jack is working incredibly hard. He's constantly practicing chi, training his combat skills, and strengthening his body. Anna, on the other hand, can't start training as a holy word priest yet, so she attends classes with the Habsburg family's younger children and studies general knowledge. She also spends time with the ladies of the house. Janice has taken a special interest in Anna. She frequently invites her to the ladies' tea parties. One day, Anna is relaxing in the Habsburg Manor's artificial hot spring with Janice and the others. Anna, you have such an amazing figure, so toned and fair. Unlike us, we're all getting old and wrinkly. I can't imagine who will be lucky enough to win your heart. Why don't you just marry Rennes, Anna? Better to keep him in the family. We could be sisters. Steam fills the air, creating a misty haze above the hot spring. Janice and the others surround Anna, showering her with compliments. Anna, already a bit shy, blushes deeply at the suggestive jokes, especially the last comment. It makes her heart pound in her chest. She has feelings for Rennes. After all, he changed her life, restored her health, and gave her a new beginning. Plus, Rennes is handsome, powerful, and has a high status. He's the dream man of every woman. It all adds up. Anna has a strong fondness for Rennes, but she doesn't dare to express her feelings. She sees herself as a simple country girl who knows nothing. She doesn't think she's worthy of Duke Rennes. If I could marry Duke Rennes, I would be so happy. Listening to the ladies' banter, Anna blushes and imagines the scene in her mind, and her feelings for Rennes only grow stronger. Chapter 99 Death Law, Demon Army Invasion. You are listening at novelfull.audio. 1 week later, the Adventurers Guild buzzed with news about the hefty bounty Rennes had posted. Someone was willing to trade the Holy Word Priest inheritance for a big payout, but they weren't happy with Rennes' offer. They wanted to negotiate face-to-face. Hearing this, Rennes rushed to the Adventurers Guild, only to discover the seller wasn't in Lancelot. They were over 600 miles away in the kingdom of Cascos. Rennes had no choice but to use the guild's image transmission magic circle, which cost a cool 50,000 gold coins. The circle flared, revealing a middle-aged man in top-tier magical armor. He was all bulging muscles and a wild beard, his long, dark brown hair hanging loose. This guy screamed, "Powerful transcendent. You're the one offering the reward for the Holy Word Priest inheritance, right?" He boomed. "I've got a batch of knowledge books from some ancient ruins. It's incomplete, only good up to level 13, but it includes several Holy Word command spells." He paused for effect. "You know what those are worth. Name your price." The man cut right to the chase. Rennes' eyes lit up. Holy Word command spells were rare offensive skills for a Holy Word priest, incredibly potent and mysterious. They were fast, had no visible attack trajectory, and couldn't be dodged or blocked. You had to tank them with your own stats. Take the classic death command. Cast it, and the target faced instant death if their constitution or spirit failed the test. It was even nastier than a lich's death finger. Mosca, a semi-divine Holy Word priest, made a name for himself by using this decree to one-shot an ancient red dragon. Of course, Rennes wasn't expecting anything that powerful. If it was that good, the guy wouldn't be selling it. And Rennes sure couldn't afford it. He asked, and sure enough, the spells were run-of-the-mill, sensory deprivation and pain infliction. Still, even ordinary command spells were valuable, since you couldn't resist them, only endure them. After a moment's thought, Rennes made a generous offer. 10 million gold coins. That's my absolute limit. The man's face showed satisfaction. The price was better than expected. He accepted without haggling. They got down to business. Even though they were hundreds of miles apart, the Adventurers Association had a teleportation array for internal use. Borrowing it cost another 100 grand, the array flashed, and a large box of books appeared before Rennes. He had the Adventurers Guild folks check them over. Once they confirmed everything was on the level, Rennes sent the 10 million gold coins to the man. Deal done. You're a straight shooter, brother. The man said. I made a killing on this deal. Here's some free intel. The Abyss demons have been really active on the Roland continent lately. We might be looking at a demonic disaster in the next few years. Then, before Rennes could even react, he was gone. The transmission cut out. Rennes ignored the abrupt exit. His mind was stuck on the man's warning, a demonic disaster. That meant exactly what it sounded like, a demon invasion. Abyssal gods would rip open dimensional portals, unleashing hordes of demons to burn, kill, and loot the Roland continent, turning everything to ash. Every demonic disaster cost the lives of billions of humans on the Roland continent. Even legendary powerhouses fell in droves. The demonic armies were packed with legendary-level demons. It was an utterly terrifying natural disaster. Rennes' joy at acquiring the Holy Word Priest inheritance vanished. Looks like I need to prepare, he muttered. He didn't know the man from Adam, so he couldn't take his word as gospel. But he still needed to be ready. Spending a little money was better than getting steamrolled by a demon army. Rennes stashed the box of Holy Word Priest books in his spatial ring and hurried out of the Adventurers Association, heading back to Habs Manor. His first order of business was buying massive amounts of food and iron ore. Food was priority number one. If a demonic disaster hit, the Lance Duchy's food production would tank. He needed to stockpile supplies. Otherwise, people would starve to death, even if the demons didn't get them, and iron ore was always in demand, whether for forging equipment or repairing weapons. Besides, both resources were practically hard currency. Even without a demon invasion, they wouldn't lose much value. After setting the supply acquisition in motion, Rennes put the potential disaster on the back burner and turned his attention to Anna. Now that he had the Holy Word Priest inheritance, it was time to start training this girl with unlimited potential. Rennes wasn't a priest, but he was a paladin, dabbling in both magic and martial arts. He was a 14th stage Do-Chi master and a 10th level grand magician. He knew his stuff. Passing on the Holy Word Priest knowledge wouldn't be a problem. With Rennes as her mentor, plus her natural talent, Anna would go far. She cultivated the extraordinary power of the Holy Light right away. Officially, she was a Holy Word Priest apprentice. Feeling the Holy Light energy radiating from Anna, Rennes was floored. It might not seem like much, just stepping through the gate to become an apprentice, but ordinary folks with talent had to work their tails off to get there. He remembered grinding every day to temper his body and practice Qigong, just to become a knight apprentice. It took him a year to cultivate his first spark of fighting spirit. Anna did it in under an hour. That was the power of being close to an epic-level magical talent. Lord Rennes, look. I successfully completed the Holy Light history. Anna chirped, reporting her success. Excellent. Keep it up. Rennes praised. He hadn't misjudged her. Anna truly had legendary potential. If she kept this up, she would most likely reach legendary status one day, and that thought made Rennes even more determined to marry Anna and have his kids with her. Chapter 100 Marrying an Angel Girl, Magic Technology Magic Crystal Cannon. You are listening at novelfull.audio. 3 months later. During this time, Rennes patiently guided Anna in her practice, and because she was a natural, she progressed rapidly. Before long, she went from being a novice apprentice to a first-tier Holy Word Priest, mastering the healing and blessing skills of the profession. Spending all their time together, their relationship deepened quickly. Facing Rennes' quiet pursuit, Anna, already smitten, fell head over heels for him. Sensing Anna's feelings, Rennes decided to confess his own. Of course, she said yes, and so, they became a couple. Jack was thrilled for his sister when he found out. In his eyes, this was fantastic news. Duke Rennes was handsome, powerful, high status, and adored Anna. He was the perfect match for her. There were no objections. Rennes and Anna quickly set a wedding date. A week later, the wedding was held as planned. All the invited nobles attended. Honestly, everyone was used to Duke Rennes getting married. They ate, drank, and chatted. However, when the bride appeared, everyone was stunned. How could they not be? She was breathtakingly beautiful, in her white wedding gown, radiating an indescribable purity. Anna looked like an angel descended from heaven. She was captivating. The older aristocrats managed to regain their composure, but the young aristocratic youths were completely enthralled. Their faces reflected pure infatuation. If their families hadn't intervened, these young men, blinded by her beauty, would have tried to rescue her from Duke Rennes' clutches. The wedding continued. Heartbroken, the young nobles watched as Rennes and Anna completed the ceremony, officially becoming husband and wife. The wedding lasted all day. After seeing off the last guest, Rennes eagerly went to Anna's room. She had been waiting. "Anna, you're absolutely beautiful," Rennes exclaimed, looking at his enchanting bride. "Don't say that," Anna replied, already shy, becoming even more flustered. But before she could finish, Rennes, overcome with desire, swept her into his arms. Soon, they consummated their marriage. The sounds of the night filled the room. In the blink of an eye, 3 months passed. Thanks to Rennes' care, Anna, who had just started studying months before, became pregnant. And it wasn't just Anna. In addition to Katie, Lifa, Fiolina, Betty, and Larissa, who had been pregnant for months, Jessica, Serena, Emick, Murphy, Layla, and Charlene also became pregnant. The Habsburg family was expecting 12 children, due between June and August of the following year. Rennes was overjoyed. Of course, besides this happy news, the king had sent him something. Rennes had entrusted the miniature pure gold mine from Princess Elsa's dowry to the king for mining. After all this time, the mine was finally exhausted. King Lance sent the excavated pure gold to him, a total of 2.6 kilograms, at a market price of 50,000 gold coins per gram. It was worth 130 million gold coins. Rennes wouldn't sell it, it was too valuable. Plus, he still needed pure gold for the Fiery Sun Divine Sword, a legendary weapon he planned to forge. After dismissing the king's envoy, Rennes carefully stored the pure gold in the family treasury. He'd save it for later. Time flew by. Another 2 months passed. Since all his wives were pregnant, Rennes focused on developing his territory with ample gold coin support. Several of his planned main roads were completed. The wide, smooth bluestone roads made travel and communication between the towns much easier. Goods transportation became 5 times more efficient. Combined with Rennes' favorable policies, more and more merchants were drawn to the Habu's territory, boosting its commercial prosperity. Besides territorial development, Rennes prepared for potential magical disasters. He continued acquiring grain and iron ore and added salt and sugar to his strategic reserves. He also had the city walls of his territories raised and reinforced. Other nobles noticed Rennes' activities, but didn't know why he was doing it. They didn't pay much attention, selling him building materials, grain, and other supplies at inflated prices and pocketing the profits. Another month passed. After 10 months of pregnancy, Katie, Lifa, Frenna, Betty, and Larissa were ready to give birth. Betty and Lifa were the first to be taken to the delivery room. Rennes waited anxiously outside. After about 10 minutes, 3 loud cries echoed from within. Betty had given birth to twins, and Lifa had a boy. Detected the birth of the 81st child of the host. The magical aptitude of this offspring is average, the fighting spirit aptitude is high, and the evaluation is silver level. Reward: 30 years of fighting spirit cultivation, intermediate magic mastery. Detected the birth of the 82nd child of the host. The magical aptitude of this offspring is high, the fighting spirit aptitude is high, and the evaluation is silver level. Reward: 30 years of fighting spirit cultivation, second order magic, elemental fury lock. Detected the birth of the 83rd child of the host. The magical aptitude of this offspring is high, the fighting spirit aptitude is super, and the evaluation is gold level. Reward: 100 years of fighting spirit cultivation, magic crystal cannon manufacturing diagram, advanced magic array mastery.